What if I told you that one small glass of salt and water placed in the right spot tonight could start changing the energy around your money, your mood, and the way opportunities begin to find you? Not next month, not someday, starting with the space where you sleep. This is simple. It costs almost nothing. But if you do it with clear intention, it can feel powerful. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use salt in your room in a way that supports peace, clarity, and financial growth. And no, this is not about doing something random and hoping for magic. It is about energy, focus, environment, and the signal you send every single day. Stay with me, because the place where most people put this is wrong. The way most people prepare it is incomplete, and one tiny detail can change the whole effect. If you do this right, your room can begin to feel lighter, calmer, and more supportive of the life you are trying to build. And when your inner space changes, your outer life often follows faster than you expect. Watch until the end, because I'll also show you how to refresh this ritual, what signs to notice, and how to quietly turn your bedroom into a space that feels clean, magnetic, and ready for abundance. Salt is not only something you use in the kitchen. For a long time, people have seen it as a symbol of value, protection, and cleansing. It has been connected to trade, worth, and survival. That matters because the energy you connect to an object changes how you use it. When you begin to see salt as more than a seasoning, you start to understand why so many people use it in rituals for clearing heavy energy and inviting something better in. Think about how different you feel after time near the sea. Your mind opens. Your body softens. Your breath feels deeper. Many people believe salt carries that same cleansing quality into the home. And when your home feels clearer, you think more clearly. When you think more clearly, you make better decisions. When your decisions improve, your financial life can begin to improve too. That is why this practice matters. It is not only about attracting money. It is about removing the emotional weight that blocks it. Stress blocks vision. Fear blocks action. Doubt delays movement. A heavy room can keep you stuck in heavy thoughts. So before you chase abundance outside, start by shifting what surrounds you inside. And listen carefully here, because this is important. Abundance is not only cash in your hand. It is peace in your mind, confidence in your choices, discipline in your habits, and a home that supports your next level. If you want faster growth, create a better atmosphere for growth. That is where this begins. Everything around you carries a kind of signal. Your body does. Your thoughts do. Your room does. The clothes on your chair, the dust in the corners, the pile of things you keep meaning to sort out, all of it speaks. It creates a feeling. And that feeling shapes your daily energy more than most people realize. If your space feels dull, crowded, tense, or forgotten, your nervous system keeps receiving that message. But when your space feels calm, clean, and intentional, your mind starts to respond in a different way. You become more focused, more open, more steady. That is why small rituals can feel bigger than they look. They are not only actions. They are signals to your mind and to your life. They say, I am ready for change. I am no longer feeding chaos. I am making room for something better. And the bedroom is one of the strongest places to begin, because it is where your body goes to recover and where your subconscious stays active while the world goes quiet. You may be asleep, but your system is still absorbing the feeling of that room. So if the energy there feels stale, heavy, or restless, that is the energy you sit in for hours every single night. But if the room feels peaceful and renewed, you wake up different. You wake up lighter. And when you wake up lighter, you speak different, choose different, and move through the day with more power. That is why this ritual is not small at all. It can change the tone of your mornings, and your mornings can change the direction of your life. Before you prepare the salt, let's talk about the room itself, because the ritual works best in a space that is respected. Your bedroom should feel like a private sanctuary, not a storage area for stress. Start simple. Look around and remove what feels heavy, broken, dirty, or draining. Old wrappers, piles of laundry, random clutter, dusty corners, dead batteries, cracked objects, and things you keep out of guilt all add noise to the space. You do not need perfection. You need intention. Open a window if you can. Let air move. Wipe surfaces. Straighten the bed. Clear the floor. If you keep a trash bin in the room, make sure it is covered and emptied often. Do not let waste sit open near the place where you rest. If you have bright electronics close to your bed, reduce them when possible. Too much buzzing, blinking, and scrolling energy can keep the room overstimulated when it should be calm. Even the way your bed faces can change how safe and settled the room feels. The goal is not fear. The goal is harmony. You want to walk into the room and feel your shoulders drop. You want the room to say rest, reset, renew. And here is a retention line you need to hear. Do not skip this part and jump straight to the glass, because the cleaner the room feels before the ritual, the stronger the ritual tends to feel after. Salt can support the energy, but it should not be asked to do all the work while the room stays neglected. Meet the ritual halfway. Show your space that you are serious about change. Now let's do the main practice step by step in the simplest way possible. Take a clean glass. Clear glass is best because you can easily observe the water. Wash it well. Dry the outside. Then fill it about 3/4 full with the purest water you can access. It does not have to be expensive. It just needs to be clean. After that, add 3 heaping tablespoons of salt. Stir it gently in a clockwise direction for about 3 minutes. Slow and steady. Do not rush. The movement matters because it helps you stay focused and present. While you stir, speak your intention out loud in simple words. You can say, "This salt cleanses my space and clears the way for peace, stability, and abundance." Or say, "This room is now filled with calm energy, clear thinking, and open paths." Keep the words easy. What matters is that you mean them. Speak with attention. Speak as if your room can hear you, because in a way your own mind can, and that changes everything. If your thoughts wander, bring them back. If you feel silly, keep going. Many powerful habits feel small at first. Once the water and salt are prepared, place the glass near your bed, ideally on a nightstand or small table. Not under the bed, not hidden in a dark corner. Let it sit where the energy of your rest can meet it. This is the moment people often get wrong. They prepare it casually, place it anywhere, then wonder why nothing shifts. Intention matters. Placement matters. Presence matters. Do it like it means something. As the glass rests in your room, begin paying attention to the atmosphere around you over the next few days. Maybe the room feels lighter. Maybe you sleep deeper. Maybe your mind feels less crowded when you wake up. Maybe you notice that your mornings carry less tension and more direction. These changes can be subtle at first, but subtle does not mean weak. Quiet changes often last longer. If the water starts looking cloudy, dull, or unusually heavy, many people take that as a sign that the glass has absorbed dense energy from the room. If that happens, do not keep it there. Discard it, clean the glass, and prepare a fresh one. If it stays clear, that is fine too. Refresh it every 3 days anyway, so the ritual stays active and intentional. The refresh is not just maintenance. It is a reset of your attention. It reminds you that you are participating in the energy of your life, not just reacting to it. And here is where this becomes more than a room ritual. Every time you refresh the glass, ask yourself one honest question. What energy am I feeding lately? Am I feeding fear, delay, envy, and confusion? Or am I feeding discipline, gratitude, courage, and trust? The room can support you, but your habits must join the work. This is where real transformation begins, not in wishful thinking, in repeated action, in clear space, in simple practices done with consistency. Stay with me, because the next part is where we connect this ritual directly to financial growth in a grounded and practical way. Money responds to more than effort. It also responds to clarity. When your mind is full of noise, you miss chances. When your energy is low, you delay the call, ignore the idea, postpone the task, and doubt the move that could help you grow. That is why people often feel financially stuck even while working hard. Their energy is scattered, their environment drains them, their decisions come from stress instead of steadiness. A calm room cannot do your work for you, but it can support the version of you who works better. It can help you wake up less irritated, think with more order, and hold your goals with less emotional chaos. That matters more than people admit. Financial growth is often built on small improvements repeated over time. One clearer morning, one stronger decision, one avoided impulse purchase, one email finally sent, one new idea acted on instead of ignored. So when you place salt in your room with intention, do not think of it as a shortcut to money falling from the sky. Think of it as a support tool that helps align your mood, your focus, and your environment with the life you say you want. That alignment is powerful. It makes you more available to opportunities because you are less buried in heaviness. And if you want to strengthen the practice, pair it with a simple nightly thought before sleep. Say, I release stress from this room and from my mind. I welcome peace, wise choices, steady income, and open doors. Short words, real feeling, repeated often. That kind of message can shape the way you enter sleep and the way you rise from it. There are also a few extra things you can do to make this ritual feel stronger without making it complicated. First, do not place the glass next to clutter, dirty dishes, or things that remind you of unfinished stress. Give it a clean spot. Let it feel respected. Second, avoid turning the ritual into fear. You are not fighting your home. You are restoring it. If the water changes, that does not mean something terrible is happening. It simply means you continue the cleansing and stay consistent. Third, watch your words in the room. If you spend every night speaking defeat, worry, and frustration into the same space where you are trying to build calm abundance, you create mixed signals. Speak better in that room, not fake. Better, more intentional. Fourth, keep your bed made as often as you can. A made bed gives the room order, and order affects the mind. Fifth, if there is anything under your bed that carries stale energy, clear it out. Let the place where you sleep breathe. And if you really want to deepen the atmosphere, take 60 seconds before sleep to sit quietly and feel gratitude for what is already working in your life, even if it feels small. Gratitude is not denial. It is direction. It teaches your mind to notice support instead of only lack. And when your mind starts seeing support, it becomes easier to move with confidence. That confidence can change how you talk, how you negotiate, how you plan, and how you receive. Do not underestimate that. Inner state shapes outer results more often than people think. Small shifts in feeling can create very real shifts in behavior. Some people like to use salt in other ways too, and while this video is centered on the bedroom ritual, it can help to understand the bigger picture. Many people sprinkle a little salt at the entrance of the home, then sweep it away later, as a symbolic clearing of outside heaviness. Some place a small bowl of salt in a room that feels tense or emotionally heavy, then replace it after a short period. Others use a pinch of salt in bath water as a way to release stress after a difficult day. The idea behind all of these practices is similar. Salt is used as a physical reminder that you are clearing what no longer supports you. But always remember this: the most important ingredient is not the salt alone. It is your conscious participation. If your room is chaotic, your routines are careless, your words are negative, and your mind is constantly pulling toward lack, no ritual will feel complete. But when the action, the space, and the intention begin to work together, the shift becomes easier to feel. That is why I recommend starting with one place, one practice, and one consistent rhythm instead of trying 10 things at once. Begin with your bedroom. Learn the feeling of a room that is being cared for energetically. Learn the difference between sleeping in tension and sleeping in peace. Learn what happens when you stop treating your private space as an afterthought. This is not about doing more. It is about doing one thing with full presence. That is where quiet power lives. And if this message is connecting with you, stay to the end, because I want to leave you with a way to make this ritual part of a larger abundance routine. Now let's make this even more practical, because spiritual atmosphere and real-world action should support each other, not compete. Once your glass is placed and your room feels calmer, use that new energy wisely. In the morning, before you touch your phone, take 1 minute to breathe and remember your financial intention. Keep it simple. More stability, better opportunities, smart decisions, consistent income, debt reduction, savings growth. Pick what is real for your life and repeat it. Then take one small action each day that matches that intention. Review your spending. Clean up one unpaid bill. Send one message. Learn one skill. Organize one part of your work. Update one plan. Do not wait for a giant breakthrough before you move. Energy builds through motion. This is where many people lose momentum. They enjoy the feeling of the ritual but forget to partner it with behavior. Do not make that mistake. Let the ritual prepare your state and let your actions open the door. This combination is strong. Calm mind, clear room, focused action, repeated daily. That is how the energy of abundance becomes a lifestyle instead of a temporary mood. And here is a line worth remembering. A peaceful room helps create a powerful person, and a powerful person makes better money moves. If you feel resistance while doing this, that is normal. Sometimes when a space begins to clear, you also become more aware of your own habits, your own avoidance, your own excuses. That awareness is not failure, it is progress. It means you are finally seeing what needs to shift. Stay gentle, but stay honest. That is how you grow. There is one more important detail people often ignore: timing. The best time to prepare this glass is when you can do it slowly and quietly, not while rushing between 10 distractions. Evening works well because it lets the room settle into the ritual as you prepare for rest. But if evening is impossible, choose any time you can be present. Presence matters more than perfection. And do not perform the ritual from desperation. Perform it from decision. Desperation says nothing ever works for me. Decision says I am changing the atmosphere I live in and the mindset I feed. Feel the difference. One is heavy, the other is powerful. Also, do not keep checking every hour for signs. Let the practice breathe. Notice the room. Notice your body. Notice your sleep. Notice your thoughts. Notice if your mornings feel a little more organized, if your emotions settle faster, if your focus holds longer. These are signs too. Not every shift arrives with fireworks. Some arrive as steadiness, and steadiness is often exactly what a financial breakthrough needs. A person who feels more settled usually spends with more awareness, reacts with less panic, and follows through more consistently. That can change outcomes over time in a very real way. So trust the process, but stay involved. Refresh the glass. Keep the room clean. Watch your words. Protect your evenings from needless chaos when you can. If you want the bedroom to become a place that supports abundance, then teach the room what abundance feels like. Calm, clean, ordered, grateful, ready. And if you want to deepen the emotional side of this practice, here's a simple method that fits naturally into the ritual without making it feel heavy. After placing the glass, sit on the edge of your bed for a minute and picture the kind of life you are building. Not only the money, but the feeling. Bills handled. Mind at ease. Choices made from strength, not fear. A home that feels safe. Work that feels meaningful. Sleep that feels restorative. Imagine that version of life as already moving closer to you, not because you wished for it once, but because you are becoming the kind of person who can hold it. Then let that feeling settle into your body. This matters. Many people think abundance is only about reaching outward, but often it begins with becoming inwardly available to receive better. If your body is always braced for stress, it is harder to recognize and accept support when it appears. So use the room to train a different state. Let your bedroom become a place where your system learns safety, clarity, and expectancy. Over time, that emotional stability becomes part of your personal energy. And personal energy affects everything. The way you enter conversations, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle pressure, the way you respond to setbacks. Even your patience with long-term goals improves. This is why a simple salt ritual can become part of something much bigger. It is not only a glass on a table. It is a repeated act of choosing order over chaos, care over neglect, and intention over drift. Those choices add up. They always do. So tonight, if this message speaks to you, do not overthink it. Clean the room a little. Wash the glass. Fill it with water. Add the salt. Stir slowly. Speak life into the space. Place it beside your bed and let your room begin to carry a different feeling. Then protect that feeling. Refresh it every 3 days. Keep the space tidy. Keep your words stronger than your worries. Keep your actions aligned with the abundance you want. And remember, the goal is not only to attract more money. The goal is to become more peaceful, more clear, more disciplined, and more ready for the opportunities that money responds to. That is the real shift. That is the deeper ritual. And if you do this with consistency, you may be surprised by what changes first. Sometimes it is sleep. Sometimes it is mood. Sometimes it is focus. Sometimes it is the sudden courage to do the thing you have delayed for months. Do not dismiss those shifts. They are often the beginning of larger results. Your room is not just a room. It is the atmosphere where your next self is being shaped every single night. So make it count. Let it support your healing. Let it support your thinking. Let it support your growth. And let this simple act remind you that abundance often enters through small doors, quiet habits, and repeated intention. If you try this, stay with it long enough to feel the difference. The energy you live with daily is never a small thing. It is either lifting you or lowering you. Choose what lifts you and let that choice begin tonight.